ready?
Yeah.
This is Couple of J's podcast. I'm your host, PJ.
And MJ.
And we've been gone for a little minute, 2 weeks, took a little break, Easter.
No excuses. No excuses.
And then we had an episode that we just didn't put out.
Yeah, it flopped.
Not even it flopped, it just the camera messed up. But
Yes.
so we're gonna start off strong. I got a story. His ex-wife revealed the reason she divorced him. It was because he was too perfect of a husband. He never betrayed me. He treated me well. He gave me a wonderful family, but I was not happy. Something was missing. The problem was he was too perfect for me. What the fuck is wrong with women? I honestly don't get it. Tell me. Talk to me. Why is too perfect of a man a problem? Would you be able to tell me?
I could say some people may not ever feel good enough. Like they can never reach that type of standard that their partner holds or has.
Yeah.
So it makes them constantly feel insecure, constantly overthink it, constantly think, well, am I good enough for this perfect guy? You know?
Or I feel like she's coming from a point of like, it's too bland. He's too perfect. There's no excitement. Like he does everything correctly.
That makes sense too.
And that can maybe be a flag of like her being bored, or
right.
Maybe
it's vanilla.
She just doesn't trust it. She's waiting for.
No, I don't think it's.
Feel like it's vanilla.
Yeah, like you said, it's probably just boring. It's probably just too, but that's just kind of hard to say because it's like perfect. I know she kind of explained how, but really, like, what are the depths of like perfect? You know what I mean? Like he does everything for you. Does he?
Well, a good guy. Like he probably.
Yeah, she probably. So some people also like some women have or fantasize over this bad guy thing. I feel like that's always kind of been a thing for some women. It's like they like the wildlife in some ways, like the guy, the bad boy.
You think it's just too repetitive, too like easy, like too predictable?
Yeah, like some people look or.
But she married him. It's her husband. Why? If he's perfect, if he's not doing anything, if he's working, if he's coming home, he's with his family, he's sitting at the dinner table, he's taking care of you, he's bringing you flowers, I'm assuming.
Yo, actually, this reminds me, oh my gosh, this reminds me of a movie that I watched, or a TV show. So good. So it was about this woman who had a perfect, handsome husband. I mean, he was beautiful. Anybody would drop their drawers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They had kids, a huge house. It was just, their kids was beautiful. Perfect life. But before she married him, her life before him was with this bad boy riding motorcycle. They used to ride motorcycle.
What movie is that?
It was a show.
It was a show.
Yeah, something probably Sex Life, something like that. I think.
And she got like she would like
she just
flashbacks.
Yeah, like she
flashbacks of that.
Fantasized over their like sexual chemistry they had. You know how he was just that bad boy that brought something out of her. And then she settles down into this perfect family, perfect husband, and then. That just kind of reminds me of this. Like,
yeah, that's why they say good guys finish last.
Yeah.
Because, man, you could honestly do everything correctly, or what you think is correctly, or what society deems correctly.
Yeah.
And your wife is like not communicating how she's feeling, I'm sure, because I'm sure she's not saying to him, listen, you're a perfect guy. You're everything that every woman would want, just not what I want. It's like the thing that's going around on TikTok, the soft guy era. This is where the soft guy era comes from, is because when you start to give these perspectives from a man's point of view, women can't tolerate it. Mm-hmm. They are having a field day on fucking TikTok. Like bugging out, because all the guy is doing is he's taking random TikToks of girls that are basically saying like, you have to have money if you take me to Ruby Tuesdays, like get the fuck out of here, like you don't have any money, so pretty much. Like I want somebody with money, like I'm too good for Ruby Tuesdays, right? some bullshit like that. So there's this guy that's gone viral, and he's basically created like the soft guy era.
Or the sprinkle.
Yeah, it's drizzle now. It's drizzle for the man.
Drizzle, huh?
I'm with that movement. I'm with that movement because I know they're not serious, and I know it's like just a perspective, just from a guy's point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah, and women are fucking
because you guys are
can't
petty.
stand it. Yeah, we're
you
petty.
guys are petty.
Sometimes you have to be petty in order to get your point across.
Yeah.
You know, I do it with you sometimes.
Oh yeah.
I get petty. And then I'll be like, oh, you don't like that.
No,
you don't like when I'm as petty as you.
I love it. Yeah, but it just kind of like I said, that was a good example there that I seen, and it was kind of like when you watch it, it's kind of like I can see like in some way that like the flashbacks and everything coming back because it does something to your brain, like that dopamine, right?
Yeah.
So when you start to feel that dopamine and that rush, it's kind of addicting, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like some people just either if they had that experience go back to that or want to go back to that.
But then you'll see women under the comments or let's say like replying to a story like this, and they're like ready to go with that guy or give themselves to that guy. Like, girl, you don't know what you like. I'll take him. Like, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's also people who have different background stories that's been waiting, truly been with the bad boys, and they're like, please give it up. I think that's kind of my experience myself. I feel I dealt with more of bad boys than anything, but I can definitely say that's not
I am a bad boy that's turned good.
And you are
so you still attract bad boys
in our era. No, in our relationship, you've changed before before we even gotten together, and I've definitely changed my mindset, and I don't miss it. I don't miss the bad boys, honestly. Had to run away from that. That's not something. So I feel like the women who think like that, like I've been there. I've had it all. That's all I've ever had. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Please give me a good man, God.
Yeah.
And so it just depends on the person and your life experiences, truly. But it's sad to see women, sacrifice, family or things that, all of that just for what? For more excitement? Communicate that. What do you want from your partner?
Yeah.
If you want excitement, do something about it. Like, that's where that communication comes from. If you're not doing it, then how are you really trying to not only grow your relationship, but get what you want or need out of it?
Right.
To make it really forever. People don't marry just to marry, right?
Well, so that's my next question is like, do you think that therapy before marriage is important to kind of like, because I believe that she probably doesn't have anything to reference or doesn't have enough experience. So she may think that the grass is greener on the other side, but hasn't experienced that because she's been married to her husband the whole time. So she's like, shit, I feel like the relationship is probably too repetitive. I need something a little bit more exciting. Do you feel like going to therapy before marriage and like, cause wouldn't you notice this before you married him? Like that, how he was, he's a good guy. And
I mean, I feel like with that, we would have to get into the depths of, all right, did you have kids before marriage, after, like, did you do everything the right way? I feel like it kind of goes into those depths, but going to therapy before getting into a relationship or getting married, I don't feel like is very necessary. I think if you are someone to able to self-reflect, I want to say self-analyze, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Certain things things like
but
that.
But most women can't self-reflect
So if you are someone,
if
you're someone who is truly lost and you really don't know yourself or you really don't know what's going on and why do you have certain reactions to
but you may
traumas.
not know. You may not know that you have certain traumas. Like
I feel like you know and
no, I think it is important to go see a therapist, couples therapy. Because
couples therapy, yes, but you're talking
and also if individual therapy. Yeah. Even though I've never had individual therapy, I do believe couples therapy before getting married is important because there may be some things in there that you don't know is there that may come to surface after
Yeah.
marriage. You
Yeah.
know, like and have those conversations with your therapist as a couple, like how do we feel about our marriage, our relationship at this point?
Mhm.
Do you feel like it's bland? Do you feel like it's boring?
Mhm.
Because I may not be able to have that conversation with you without a therapist there
Right.
or a third person there because it may turn into an argument.
Yeah, you
You
may not
may
know.
be in denial or I may be in denial about telling my truth or what I actually feel.
Yeah.
So a therapist
Or not
would
know
be
how to
able to
handle it.
like navigate our conversation and I don't have to be scared of a negative response from you.
Right.
I could just say my truth because that's why we're here. We're
Right.
here to say our truths.
Right.
How do you feel about the marriage? Is the sex good? Do you like my sex? These are conversations that you may not be
Feel
able to,
uncomfortable
yeah,
talking
just us
about with
just
it.
chilling at the house. You can be like, no, babe, everything's fine, like we're good. But when you go see a therapist and you know it's the real deal, now I could have those conversations with you. Now I feel like, all right, this isn't gonna blow up into an argument because
Right.
it'll probably stop before it does. Like the
Yeah.
therapist will point out why you're reacting that way or why I
Right.
getting frustrated or maybe like point out how I feel in a moment after you telling me that or me telling you that, right?
Yeah.
So I do think it's important. I think you have to have those real conversations and because marriage is forever.
Right.
So if we're going to get married, I need to know the truth.
Yeah, I
Because I
agree.
may be thinking I'm doing something correctly and I've been just doing everything, and you haven't complained, and yet you're probably suppressing your emotions a little bit. But I mean, at a therapist, you could communicate that. You could communicate the suppressed emotions. You can, you know, and whichever way you want to deliver it to. That's the good part about it. It's like we got this third person here, so I'm gonna just be real as possible,
Yeah.
however it comes out.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think it's important to do couples therapy before marriage in a
Oh, I
relationship.
changed your mind.
No, what I was saying was, or what I thought you were asking was, do you think someone should do therapy before getting in a relationship or before getting married as an individual, just going to therapy, right?
Yeah.
Like, should someone go to therapy before entering a relationship? I thought you were asking that. And
Oh,
what I
okay.
was
No,
saying,
I was talking about couples therapy. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, so a couples therapy, yeah, and I've always just said that I think that's important, even if it's over the little things, to
Yeah.
stop it right in its tracks.
Yeah.
I think it could help people a lot, and yeah, I definitely agree. I agree with the couples therapy
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah, I think it's important. I think that just that's the only way to really address the things that your thoughts,
Yeah,
without there being this big blowout or
yeah,
someone getting offended.
yeah.
This is, and I especially feel this for people that can't communicate. Like you and I, we could communicate
Hmm.
um, about whatever we feel.
Yeah,
We're real about it,
yeah.
and I know energy. I know when
Hmm.
you're off. I know when you
Hmm.
need to talk about something. You know my energy. You know when I'm off, and you know and then you could handle my kind of like bluntness.
Yeah,
So that's why we fit so well.
yeah.
Because I could give it to you raw. There's no Diddy.
Wait,
Sorry,
wait.
sorry.
No, speaking of Diddy,
Yeah,
on
no,
tonight's show, it's
yeah,
like,
nah, fuck Diddy. So yeah, I could kind of communicate my realness with you, and you don't react
react.
immediately. You kind of just take
Sit there and
and
absorb
absorb.
everything.
Yes,
Take it all
that's
in and
you're
absorb
great
it.
at that. You're great at that. All right, so how do you feel about like losing attraction
Hmm.
after being with someone for a long time? Like, how would you handle that if
All I can imagine is like, imagine getting the ick with your partner every day. Like this,
how do you how do you navigate out of that? What would you do um if you suddenly just became unattracted to your partner?
I've never been in a position to truly say a real like life answer, but I don't know. I don't know. I would deal with it. I would deal
But
with it.
no, because that's what's gonna lead you to cheating. You
No.
wouldn't be honest with me and just say, listen.
You see, no, so that's what I was gonna say. Or I was thinking. If it's something physical and I'm truly like turned off by it, and we've had this conversation before about getting face done or something like that.
Yeah.
I would be like I said, or like you said, we communicate pretty well. I feel like I would be, babe, I don't know, maybe you should uh maybe you should try a different style. Like I like this on you. Or maybe you should,
So you wouldn't just be so real to the point where like, I don't like the way you dress, or I think you're overweight, or I liked you better when you was hitting the gym.
No, I feel like our communication is good like that too. I think I would be able to be blunt.
But what? Okay, let's take ourselves out of it.
Okay. In
How would
general.
one person, a girl, be able to approach her man about losing that attractiveness? How would you approach it if it wasn't me and you wasn't able to communicate really with your partner? Like what?
I like to think about as being straight up. Like I don't know why I'm not feeling attracted to you, or I feel like because since you've gained weight or you lost weight, I just don't feel.
You would be. What if I told you that? What if I told? I don't think women handle that well. I really don't. Like either you're getting too skinny or you're getting too chunky. Those
But when
words you do not say to a woman.
Yeah, but when you say make comments or something, I'd be like, really? I'd be like, damn, really? I'd be like, really, babe? I am? Fuck. And then I complain about it to you about like, all right, what I gotta do to fix it or something. I don't know. That's just so hard because I've never really like I've experienced losing attraction for someone. You know what I did? Left. I just
But that's mad shallow.
mad shallow, but that's the truth though. I was young and I didn't find someone attractive, and
Well, yeah, you were young. That's I don't know.
what would you do? How would you handle that or communicate that?
I still don't know. I would just have to tell them like, hey, maybe you should go to the gym with me. I think it'd be important if you went to the gym and we're both on the same frequency, doing the same thing, and kind of getting our lives together. You know, I would try as best as I can to encourage, because I was in something where I felt like, you know, as a teenager, I didn't know how to handle their extreme change to their body. I was very immature, so I don't know if I handled it the best. You know, like I just lied a lot. Like I would just say, yeah, you're perfect, or you're beautiful, or like, you know, but in the inside I was like, I don't like, no, this isn't the way I met you, you know. But that was before, and then I learned how to love her for other things. You know, that forced me to kind of like be like, all right, what else outside of the physical attracts me to this person? And I learned to fall in love with those things.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like that helped me a lot, because now I understand, like, no matter the physical attraction that I have for you, that I can fall in love with you in different ways.
Right,
You
because
know,
attraction wasn't the only thing that
right.
got us here.
Your beautiful teeth, you know, not
what did that
your
shit
personality, you know,
Yeah.
your soft skin. Like I'd find something,
Yeah.
and then I'd hyper focus on that.
Yeah, and that's the thing I feel like people would challenge with is digging that deep.
Yeah.
And
It's hard.
staying in that mindset, because that I feel like the unattractiveness outweighs the things that you are attracted to, especially if it is physical.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to convince yourself that a person who's changed so much is still beautiful. You know, it's one of the hardest things I had to do. But all in all, it's a very small fraction of a process to do. Like, I look back now and I'm like, oh, okay, like that was only a blimp in the relationship of
Yeah.
that unattractiveness. And then you kind of, if she bared your children, or, you start to be like, find those kind of reasons, like, oh no, she had my kid, like she's beautiful, God made her beautiful. And,
Mm-hmm.
You start to see her in just different lights,
Mm-hmm.
um, every man has to go through this, like especially when they specifically dated their person in the beginning through because of attraction and not so much personality.
I don't really think anyone does that though, really,
What?
that much.
What?
Like I feel like nowadays everything is like attraction based. I feel like today world that we live in is more.
I feel like you have to go through that process.
Yeah.
It's very hard for 20-year-olds or mid 20
Right.
to go and be with someone or want to be with someone outside of attraction.
Right.
Although I think that they're getting better, and I feel like,
You think so?
yeah, because the conversation is being had a lot more. Like even with my younger group of friends that are in their 20s, the conversation is like, you know, looks get you to the door, your personality gets you through it.
But I
Right?
feel
Like those type of conversations.
I do believe a lot of people can say that though until they're going through it. So like say, they're saying all that, but they have to go through what you went through. Their child being buried, and now, you're seeing different changes, and
Yeah.
she still's got that bright, loving personality, nurturing personality that you loved, but
Mm-hmm.
that attraction isn't there. How are they really gonna handle that? Like you can say all of that,
Mm-hmm.
but truly with this type of conversation or this topic, you have to go through it to truly know.
Yeah.
But you have experienced that. So for the young boys or young girls who are saying what they think they would do, you really don't know until you're there.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah, it's a tough process. If that person doesn't change, if they're not able to fix the physical part of themselves, or if they're not working towards that, what do you do? Like, how do you handle it
At
then?
that
If
point,
you've already said, hey, listen, like you're gaining a little weight, I'm
if
not
it
really
became a
attracted.
repetitive conversation where you're getting more blunter and blunter and like, listen, you know what I mean, and they don't take that into
And like
consideration.
it started indulging more in drinking or
Yeah, just
smoking or
unhealthy habits. At
yeah,
that point, I really would say I just couldn't be involved in that. Like, I can't be a
yeah.
part of that.
Same. I would definitely leave if I communicated how I felt
Many times at
many
that.
times and you're still doing like unhealthy habits, and now I just feel like we're not on the same frequency.
You don't care about
Yeah,
yourself
we gotta
because I
keep it
care
moving.
about me.
Right. We
If
gotta
you
keep it
don't
moving.
care about you, how you gonna care? Nah.
Right.
Yeah, that's definitely gotta go.
Yeah.
Gotta move on. And then if that don't motivate them, then well, our time has passed.
Yeah, yeah,
Truly,
yeah.
truly.
um
But yeah, one of the things that I was kind of thinking about too, just a thought, because this conversation has been kind of like controversial on like social media of what women like wear and stuff like that.
yeah.
And I was just thinking like, I wonder how men really do think when it comes to like the person that they're in a relationship with and how they dress. So, in your opinion, do you prefer a woman that you're in a relationship with to dress more modest or revealing? And how does that make you feel with both? And how do you think the men as a society think?
So I definitely truly in my heart believe that with clothes on, modest and stuff like that is more attractive than without any.
Yeah.
Um, the conversation of being hot or being pretty or beautiful is two different things. So like when you see a girl walk into her office job and she has those heels on with those nice dressy pants and a cute little shirt on,
Mm-hmm.
that is beautiful to me. That is attractive to me. Those are the things that will draw me to you. Now, if I see a girl on the beach and her ass is out and, you know, that's hot to me, that's gonna sexually attract me. But I'm and I see her, outside of the beach and she's still dressing like very provocative. That doesn't do it for me. I think clothes on is definitely, if you're in the stage of wanting to acquire a relationship or a girlfriend, I think clothes on is the way to go.
Yeah.
Most men are attracted to girls with clothes on and no makeup. Raw face, raw, hair natural eyelashes, natural lips, all of those things. I think men look to have relationships with those kind of like women. The normal man, right? There's guys that do believe on like collecting status points. And with status points is where you get the girls that have the BBLs and all that other stuff. And it kind of like in society in a weird way, like you think there's this perception that if you do have this person that has, BBL and all that other stuff, that you're higher ranked or you're like looked at as like, dang, he got that type of thing. But I don't think it's as respected. Like I think men who are able to acquire like a professional woman and a classy woman, I think that is guys are like, yeah, wow, she's hot.
Yeah.
Like she's beautiful. Wow.
Yeah.
Um
So do you prefer your woman to be more modest? And
yes.
what if she's not as modest as you would
I'm
like?
not going for somebody who isn't classy. Like I need a classy person.
He's taken, guys, by the way.
Yeah, you're classy. You're classy. Even though you were twerking when I first met you. I don't know. Gonna have to question this person.
You guys just don't twerk for fun, like with girls out there.
Yeah, you would do it for fun.
At
you were
home, just like
around.
pop it once or twice. Yeah. I think for women, the revealing, I think it's good to have balance.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, so when it's time to be professional, when it's time to show a little bit more skin, know how to do it, and you have to be in a certain environment to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Revealing, showing skin, I feel like women just feel more sexy. Yeah. It makes you feel good. So a lot of the time I think women think that I'm showing it or I'm wearing this for me. I feel good in it. I feel like I look good in it. It's not to get the male gaze or for the attention.
So women doing it for other women.
Listen, I'll tell you this right now, and I say this. When I go to the gym, I feel like sometimes.
Well, you're taken. It's very hard to.
No. I know, but okay, yeah.
You're taken.
You're right.
You're taken.
Maybe being in a relationship is different because I would say like when I go to the gym, I would love to dress so revealing at an all-girls gym. If they had an all-girls gym, we would all probably dress so revealing, taken, single, like we would feel comfortable because who the hell's stalking us after or trying to follow us after the gym? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't want to have to worry and think about, okay, is someone going to follow me, or staring at me in the gym? Is someone going to follow me when I walk out of here? I feel like as a woman community in the gym, if it was all girls, we would feel protected. We would feel comfortable. We would because I feel like we just like to dress that way sometimes. Yeah. Like we just like to have our skin. When we're working out, we like to see how our body looks, our back, butt, everything. But it's
gym clothing and
outside
clothing are two different things. Like I do truly believe that girls who dress with tights in the gym or tight shorts, that's like appropriate. It's almost like going to the beach with
yeah, and people talking junk about you wearing a swimsuit or bikini.
Yeah, like a
That's
bikini.
Happened
like
to me.
It's almost like going to the beach with a bikini on. It's the appropriate place.
That has happened to me.
It's the place where you're supposed to wear a bikini. If you go to the gym with tights,
but I think,
and your ass is fat and your titties are nice and your body's
not even nice, but just skin. I think it's just skin.
People, what else are you supposed to wear?
Yeah, I think some people look at it and are very judgmental. there's an extent to things though. I feel if I could see, and I'm someone who's had this, and not purposely, but sometimes you wear certain colors that may be a little see through, and you may not realize it.
That's when you're jumping into a whole different thing. Like if you're purposely wearing see-through things with clothes
Yeah,
on, with gym clothes on, you know it's see-through, and you're at the gym, you're now looking in for attention.
yeah,
But if you're just wearing short shorts because that's what the brand, made,
yeah.
and you have like a
Cause
crop
it's
top shirt
fire.
on, right? Like
You feel
this is what you're
good.
supposed to wear. Like I
Yeah,
don't see you in every aspect of the world and every point of the world, men are always going to stare at women.
sadly.
That just comes with being beautiful as a woman
Or being a female.
or
Period.
being a female,
Having a
period. Like that's just part of the game, right? So at this point in life, you're at the gym and stuff like that. Like you have to become accustomed to men looking
yeah,
at you.
yeah.
Like you,
A
if you
lot.
get if you get offended for a guy looking at you, right? Imagine how you would feel if no guy looked at you. So you have to look at it like that. Like, what if no guy looked at you
Yeah,
and every guy just ignored you?
it's different for everybody. Cause some
You would be
people.
like, "What's wrong with me?"
Yeah, some
Right?
people get offended. Some people just feel a little uncomfortable. And I one time was doing a regular workout, and it was just leggings, right?
Yeah.
And I had a woman come up to me like, "Watch out. This man is staring at you and he is doing this and that." And I was like, "Okay, thank you." And I was just like
Yeah. I would.
"Oh
You can't get.
my
Yeah. You
gosh."
can't. You can't get
Where's
offended.
all girl gyms at? Cause I would like to wear my see-throughs. Like,
You can't get offended. Girls
I'm
can't
not.
get
No,
offended.
not
Guys can't get
offended,
offended if they
but
look good and
uncomfortable.
girls are looking or guys are looking.
Uncomfortable is definitely. Yeah, you could not offended. I would say, but just
So you would
uncomfortable.
say that girls dress for girls.
Not all girls. Not all girls. No, I don't think all girls dress for girls. I can't say that. They can
Then,
say they do, but like sometimes you just know you just know.
so who's the lashes for? Because it ain't for us.
Okay, that's
The
what.
makeup for who's the makeup for?
And I
It ain't for us. We don't like
so truly,
most men don't like girls with that stuff on.
speaking for myself, or I would just say for myself, love lashes. Don't have them on right now, but love lashes. They make me feel like a bad, like they make me feel so good. When
You
I
know the origination of that, like lashes and things of that nature, came from drag queens. It was the drag queens that started wearing the lashes and being provocative and things like that to dress up as a
to be feminine.
yeah, to be feminine or to dress up as a woman or whatever, or what they would deem a woman, because women naturally have bigger lashes and stuff like that. So essentially, women are dressing like drag queens at this point with these big lashes and this
No.
makeup on, and
Oh.
yeah.
We need someone else in this conversation. Oh,
It's true. That's the origination of makeup and lashes. It's from drag queens.
no.
Yes, yes, sir.
Makeup, period.
Makeup.
No. Makeup has been a
The
thing
men
in
would
the.
cover the men would cover their faces with makeup to feminize their face. Yes, that's where makeup came from.
And now I have to do research.
Yeah, you gotta
Now,
know why. You gotta know
no,
why.
because I've
Why
seen
you putting on
videos.
the
I've
makeup?
seen old, like, I don't know if it was 1800s, 1900s of women doing makeup for the first time and trying out makeup. Like I've seen it on like TikTok or something. And I'm like, "Oh, wow." So drag queens wasn't even a thing. I'm sure they weren't even a thing then, and it wasn't accepted then. I'm positive. If they did have drag queens, it was definitely hidden underneath the railroads.
Well, there's
Like,
there's always been a dark part of the world. There's always been
but
an
hidden.
underground.
It's always been
Yeah,
hidden.
there's always been an underground. There's always
So
been a dark
these
part of the world. There's always been men who dress as women. There's always been whorehouses and things of that nature. Like that has been around since the beginning of time. Since humans were humans. So, I mean,
now I'm trying to think of how I could switch the role as if a woman was trying to be a man and calling it a man a woman's thing.
there isn't. Sometimes there's no whatchamacallit.
I feel like it's kind of saying like a woman puts a freaking fake what do you call it?
Well,
Testicles on themselves and
no.
say they invented.
But I'm saying this, that men haven't started doing anything for other men. Like women do it for women. When we dress up, when we get fly, when
You know
we
what you guys
look
do
clean,
though?
what?
There's other things you guys definitely do.
For other men?
Yes.
What?
You guys have this very egotistic brains and minds. So you guys, money, women. That's
No,
all.
no, 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 no,
The
no, no,
reason
no, no.
why,
No,
yes.
see, so I'm
See,
gonna stop. I'm gonna stop you there. I'm gonna stop you there,
no, and
buddy.
you can't tell me that I'm
You're
wrong.
gonna hold up right there, buddy.
Listen, it's status.
No, status is what's going to acquire the woman.
You guys do it for men.
When men are in their ego, when men are outside of themselves and they are looking for their value outside of themselves, it's not for other men. It's literally for the women. It's to acquire the girl with the BBL. It's to acquire the girl that...
Right. So tell me why this then.
Girls bring status to men. How many girls can you acquire?
Right.
How many bad ones can you acquire? You know, and the only way to get that...
But you guys, so what I'm saying is, exactly, you're kind of hitting it on the head what I'm trying to say. So when you are messing with a female, let's say one of the bad ones.
Yeah.
Your first thing is, say she don't really got personality. Let's just say that she's just someone that you got around. The first thing a man is doing is either freaking sending it to their boys, or when they are in person, I've seen the looks that men give each other when they bring someone around that looks good. Like you guys give each other like this, yeah. I got that. You guys do that.
We use women for status.
Yes.
Amongst each other.
Yes. And money's very important to you guys too.
But we don't use money for status amongst each other. Although we do downplay a motherfucker if they don't have money and I got more money than you and you talking shit. That's the first thing we go to. Like, bro, I got way more bread than you.
Right.
You know, like, who are you?
Look, I'm trying to say that woman wasn't a...
No, but like that only comes within war and battle status.
And if you're on that type of frequency, but
yeah,
definitely a man's thing. Like women, what do we do?
But I feel like but
you know what too? Things that I resonated with was hearing women say, honestly, another thing, women getting compliments from other women does something more to your soul than when a guy compliments you. Like when another woman compliments you, it makes you...
Why is that?
You get happier. You think about that compliment all day. Like, wow, she really complimented me. She really said I was pretty. She said she really liked my outfit.
You know what
that sticks to us more than men.
You know what I love about Gen Z?
What?
I love that the guys hype each other up.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that it's less hate and more like, yeah, I'm about to repost this fit. My boy put that shit on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we never did that.
No.
Nah. We used to
hater.
How we complimented our friends.
Yeah, ugly.
Like, bro, that shit trash. That shit is trash.
You know, where would you get that at? That
bro,
shit ain't it.
Yeah, you matching too much. Like, you gotta go.
You thought that shit was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what Joe was doing.
Ain't I fresh? It's like, nah. Yeah, nah, but that's
put that up.
Ain't I fresh? But the polo, yeah, we used to think we were so fly back then.
Oh
with
my
the
god.
Polos on. Oh man, with polo, everybody had polo at
What
one
was
point.
the girls' fit like back then? What was that like?
Girls were just trash. They were trash. They always been trash. Nowadays they dress way better. I think this generation has a better grasp of fashion. Like, I don't think that the fashion portion of like the kids now, when they go to look back, they're not gonna be like, yo, what the fuck did I have on? I don't think that they're gonna look
They're
back.
gonna be like, I was wearing that dress.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, yeah, nah, that was fire.
Yeah.
You know, I see that the like baggy pants are coming back for the young kids. The younger generation, like, but they're throwing it on with like tight shirts.
Yeah,
which is kind of dope.
Balance.
They're putting layers on. They're fitting the baggy to their shoe better. Like, we were just baggy.
Yeah.
We was baggy with the tight belts, putting them tight. You know,
looking crazy.
We tied the bottom of your pant to your shoelace and folded it over. Like, we were doing anything. But the baggy that the kids are wearing now, they're just like sitting on the shoe nicely. They got the VVS belts on. they got that swag. Like they just doing it way better than
Yeah.
us. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. They're doing it. And it's crazy because in our generation, through our process in the 90s, right? We thought we were dressing better than the older heads at that time.
Really?
Yeah. But now when we look back at what the hell we had on, we had the big white tees, polos and stuff. We're like, man, that's trash.
I don't know how y'all was feeling fresh in that.
Yeah. So what age do you think is appropriate to stop social media?
Okay, there's a difference between stop social media and stop posting on it.
Let's say
Stop posting at 30. It's like, no, I'm kidding.
Nah, that's crazy. Like for me, Snapchat, I won't. You won't ever catch me on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Like I'm like that's for
Well,
the young
certain
kids.
social medias depends what you want to get out of it. Like,
If you're fucking 40 and have a Snapchat,
you
that's
know
a
what?
problem.
You know what? I did have a conversation or heard someone say something like, I haven't had Snapchat in mad long. This chick telling me to get Snapchat to send me pictures. I was like, damn, that's crazy. That's what I'm saying though. For what cause and reasons, you know? But I think it depends what you're doing online. Like some people just post their families. Some people post and try to be
I
like the
heard Snapchat
generation
got that bag though. They're like
yeah,
giving the bag out. Yeah.
like the famous people who do stories and
Yeah,
stuff.
like the influencers, they're getting the bag. Like that's
I
the
would have never
highest
thought
paid
that.
app.
That's crazy. I would have never thought that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, I could see myself doing it for that. Like, all right, it's
Nah,
the
you need to
bag.
already have
Like
acquired.
that dude, like Catherine and
Oh my god, what's
his
Catherine
name?
and Austin?
Austin McBroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're getting the bag. I heard like he's killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're probably my age.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think they're about my age, or maybe a little younger, maybe
Maybe
like
a little
30 something, 33.
maybe a little younger, maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, Snapchat's giving that bag out.
I don't know. There's some people like the older generations that be posting, and I'm just like, oh my god, who gave them this app? Nope, nope. Don't talk about my mama.
No, not your mama. Your mama's part of that old group. She just be doing whatever.
Wait,
She do all the J-Lo.
Oh,
Cringy ass. Oh my god. She needs to just
showing the age for real.
Yeah, she needs to stay offline.
Some people just they either catch up too late or I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But even like younger 30s or I've just seen the cringiest like okay.
Like what are you doing?
You clearly don't know where we're at right now.
You don't know. You don't know.
You guys need to be more aware of
That's the thing I love about myself. I keep up.
Guys.
I don't be doing the wild stuff. I don't look crazy online. I know when to post.
Doing the most.
To post. Yeah, I'm chilling. I'm not like. I know how to use social media, and I know when it's time to come up off certain things. Like Facebook, I haven't touched.
That's past due.
Facebook is literally. I got probably like 1,000 requests right now.
Yeah.
And I only have like 50 people, and they're all family.
Yeah.
So like I'll post certain pictures and stuff for the family because on my Instagram it's about me.
Right.
Right. So, yeah. So I'm really just like a Instagram TikTok guy.
Me too.
At first, TikTok was I was like frowning upon TikTok because I'm like this is like kids dancing, like young kids dancing. Like I'm not.
You know what? I remember.
Then it turned into an informational app.
Yeah.
Where like now they're teaching you some shit and
yeah, when
the dancing has gone away. My algorithm is perfect.
Yeah, when TikTok first came out, I remember someone older like talking about TikTok, and I didn't even have it yet, and I was like, what? Like I was like thinking like that's not normal. Like that's mad weird for this grown ass man to have mind you, it's just coming out. Like TikTok is just a thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't have it yet. Like I don't know. And I just remember thinking like that is fucking weird. Why do you have TikTok?
Yeah.
Because in my head it's like this is for kids.
And essentially kids,
teenagers,
young little kids are on there dancing.
18 and under. Like 18 to like
I don't want to see young kids dancing
to 12
like that.
or something.
That's weird to me. So I didn't have TikTok for a while.
It did become a thing where it was like every transition. And then I got TikTok and it was just beautiful. I remember exactly that feeling I got when
and then it turned into like I remember on my page there was nothing but fire ass chicks on there, like
Yeah.
going crazy. I'm like, dang,
Yeah. I think that
that's when
was
I was single.
yeah.
That
That
was my whole algorithm. Is like, I'm like, dang, why is there so many girls coming on my page? But they force feed you that in the
yeah.
beginning, and then
Even on
when you start hitting
Instagram.
like, you're
Mhm.
like,
Oh, it's over.
yeah, it's over with. And I
Yeah.
didn't know that in the beginning, so I was just hitting like
You was
on
just loving it.
because
I'm
essentially
loving
what I
it.
thought was right that you could hit like and I'll never have to see my like ever in life again. Like
Mhm.
it goes away. Like you hit like, you make a comment and it goes away. My friends who follow me won't see it. You know,
Oh yeah. Nowadays, you see a motherfucker who reposts, and you see when you repost it who's liking it. Like that's too much. Keep that
yeah,
shit private. Why you?
yeah,
I
for
gotta let
real.
everybody know what I like.
Nah, dead ass. I don't like that. That now it
Or I
shows.
be seeing like, oh shit, they reposted it. This is just about that. Like this is just like them or something. If it relates to that person and you know
Yeah,
them as your friend, you're like, oh
yeah.
my god.
But like I hope TikTok never changes from where it's at right now. I feel like TikTok
How could
is
it get better?
it can get better. It can get better. The algorithm could get better. Like it'd be nice to just see what I'm interested in.
Some trends be so dookie though.
I
I'm
don't
like, come
follow
on.
trends. I literally
I have
use
no
TikTok for
no.
information.
Yeah, but sometimes you have no choice. It be there.
And then like or let's say like a podcast comes out and I'm like I just found a podcast with 19 keys in it and this girl super intelligent. I think her name is Tech with X, and she's super intelligent, and she's the way she breaks things down,
Yeah.
she's such an intellectual,
Yeah.
like and she's cool. She reminds me like of a girl Nipsey.
Yeah.
You know, she's so she's very intelligent about
Humble.
like AI. She done went from prison
Yeah.
to
When I was hearing about that, I was like, I need to sit down and watch this.
I actually messaged her and I'm like, yo, you have like a brilliant mind. Like you need to do more podcasts.
Yeah.
You know, kind of hinting like one day we gotta get you on because if I could get my intellect up enough to be able to, interview her, oh
What?
man, that would be fire.
You gonna have that you need that 19 keys into like,
Yeah, he's a
cause he's
fucking
on there.
yeah.
I feel like, do you feel like that comes with experience though? Like life experience? Because I start to feel like sometimes with our pod, it's like certain questions or certain things. Honestly, I'm just like kind of, okay, I can only speak from like an opinion or based off of something I didn't even go through or, certain things like that.
No, I
I
think you just
struggle a
have
little
to
bit.
read a lot and you have to know
Mm-hmm.
the information. You have to be knowledgeable in the things that you're talking about. So when you expand your knowledge from, 48 laws of power all the way to, what we got here? 48 laws of power to
You're not.
why men love bitches or, just different kind of books and you're just like expanding your mind from AI to, you know, we're gonna let those popo go by.
Yep.
Waiting to go on.
From AI to ancient aliens.
So it's funny because when I read books, sometimes I'm really thinking, like, wow,
You
these.
read? I ain't never seen you read a book.
No, I have. Shut up. So when I read books, I really just think, like, wow, these are regular people who just decided to write and give this type of information out. And I have to think about it like regular people writing this book. What? I think that deep. Like, what am I really. Is this real? Like, I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Like, you are a regular person.
So,
You did.
so the person behind the book usually you have to do research on. So if it's an informational book, you have to know. Like some
You have to
people,
trust them with
like
whatever they're saying in the
there's a
book.
guy named Bob Lazar, right? And he basically was a scientist, and he studied like the parts and pieces of the UFO, and he was part of like Area
Oh,
51
really?
and stuff like that. Yeah. So he has this long history over 30 years of doing this stuff and pretty much speaking out about it. Um if he writes a book, then you got to know that he put 30 years in it, right? So if somebody's writing something informational, it's because they spent time with it, right? Like I don't want to hear from a person who only experienced 2 years worth of research on ancient aliens. I'm sorry, I don't want to hear it.
So you think it's
But like if you
important?
spent like a lifetime doing this and this was like your life's purpose and then you go and put a book out, I wanna read it.
Okay, so then what about the 48 laws of
The 48 Laws of Power. I
yeah.
believe that was written by
No, no, who do you believe? No, don't cheat.
Robert Greene. So
Oh, Robert Greene. Sounds familiar.
yeah, he wrote 48 Laws of Power.
No, no, he really sounds familiar. Like I watch pods on him, like being interviewed and stuff like that.
So a lot of
Oh, I
those
want to look
people,
him up.
a lot of those people research and studied these things for many, many years, and studied war. Studied even the Chinese, like how they go about their like the what are they called? I watched a documentary on them. Like right now, me, I just watch documentaries.
Love
That's the stuff I
documentaries.
like. But yeah, I feel like books that come from people who have done their research and like pretty much dedicated their life to be able to write that book or those books, those are the best books to read from.
Yeah. Okay, because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, sometimes I'm reading it and I'm like, but how do you know? Okay, but
Like
like
if
I
she
overthink it.
like for instance, if Tech with X, if she wrote a book about AI and how it works,
Right,
I
cause
would go and read that book because she not only spent time in the army, she worked with
mm-hmm.
different um uh branches in the army. She
Knows
got
behind the scenes,
yeah,
know
she
what
knows
they're
behind
looking
the scenes.
into.
She's worked with Apple, she's worked with Google, she's worked with
That's
the
crazy.
experience is there to be able to tell you the science behind
Yeah.
AI, the science behind the how this shit works,
Yeah.
right? So that's why like when she's talking, it's so intriguing because
Yeah.
she was able to experience
It
this and go
was.
through it and understand it and not only go through it, but now she knows how to intellectually um articulate herself
Yeah.
well for you to understand it and in a way where she got swag, like she hood, like she a
She
little hood
she
to it.
she definitely she definitely got that to her, that attraction, like in
Yeah,
that way.
yeah, for sure. Like she's
Like
super
you
smart.
want to listen to her.
Yes, yes.
That's what
Like I,
that's
I wish that 19 Keys would have let her speak a little bit
yeah.
more because I wanted to hear a lot
I
more
wanted to
from
hear her
her.
voice. I was just like, I want to hear her
Her
voice.
voice is
I
like
wanna-
was good, but like yeah, nah. So I think that's when you're going to read books or you're going to
yeah.
watch podcasts or you're going
Yeah.
to
I need to
listen
do
to
that.
documentaries. It has to be from people that have that background,
Yeah.
that have been through it, have been doing it for years, you know?
Yeah. I
Like
love informational stuff too. Like I said, I Robert Greene sounds very familiar. I think I know exactly who that is, but I've watched many informational videos too that just like about the brain and how it works, or about men and women, how they work as individual. Like I do truly love stuff like that. So
yeah,
I think that for me to level up in this as well is definitely, if it's not experienced, then have it be from, like you said, the podcast and reading.
yeah,
So I have to do some research of my own. But
yeah,
for
for
you,
sure.
you were saying that you want to get to that level on 19 keys.
Yes. I would have to do a lot of reading. You literally need
Classes. I need
no,
some
you need
classes.
time. Because it's not just one book, it's hundreds of books. It's
Yeah.
not just one documentary. It's hundreds of
Yeah.
documentaries. It's hundreds of conversations. It's taught like you have to have access to people like Billy Carson and you have to have access to people like Rashad Jamal. You have to have access to that whole community. You have to have access to the information. You
Yeah.
got to be able to travel to different places because in order to be that knowledgeable, you have to have that much information and you have to be so clear in thought and you have to be able to retain the information so that way you can regurgitate it later. And you have to have a level of um, intellect to be able to understand and comprehend what is being said.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, like there's not many people who have that
No.
IQ,
Yeah.
to be able to do those things. That's why I say like some people are just brilliant. Some people can gather information and like talk about it or understand it way better than others. Like I'm very good at experiencing something and then being able to talk about it. And most of my experience through life came through relationships. So this is why like I'm able to talk
About
about those
relationships
relationships
so well.
and regurgitate my experiences because I've been through it,
Yeah.
you know, and I understand it and I can articulate it very well to where I can explain it on a podcast.
Yeah. Do you feel like some people naturally have that wisdom in them without the experience, with just came on earth and just kind of
Yes.
taking in things naturally? But
I believe that there's a thing called Akashic Records, and it's basically like in the spiritual world, you get downloads from this place. And certain people, if their brains aren't foggy and cloudy and they're clear and they're healthy and they're able to keep a healthy body and to keep a healthy
right, taking
mind,
care of their temple,
right, and they're very tapped in spiritually,
they could receive
they
all
can
that.
receive that
Ooh.
information. And that's where you get the real intellects.
Mm.
When you hearing these guys talk about downloads and where they're getting this information from, it's like, because you could read something and after you read it, more information comes into you, and then you start to understand
things
it. Yeah, you
together.
start to understand it in ways that
That
like
you didn't even read, but you just feel it's
feel
truly,
it. It's true in your
yeah.
heart, and you
Oh,
can
that's so
understand it. Yeah,
deep.
it's
I
so crazy.
love that. I
Yeah,
love
but you
that.
have to honestly stay clear in heart, clear
Yeah.
in mind, and clear spirit.
Yeah, what you consume. I know that's
Yes.
all very, 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 very important. I would
Right.
love to get to that level. I feel like parts of me is capable of being like that. Some things have just shown me in life like it is possible for me, or I am someone chosen for certain things that relate to that.
Yeah.
And I feel I just haven't even stepped into a place to get to that part or to that point.
But we're coming up on an hour. We want to thank you guys for being patient. If you have been waiting for our podcast, it's been a little while. Stay tuned. We're gonna have a couple people on next week. This time for real. You know, we just kind of just been really busy, but
Yes, we thank you guys for watching and tuning in. If you did,
subscribe,
did to the
like,
end.
comment. We appreciate it all.